I am stupid. Up.
All right. Welcome back to Mock Draft Round
Da-da-da-da-da.
2 Electric Boogaloo.
Electric.
Crush, you get to be
You
the
get the
odd
easy
one
pick.
this week.
Yeah,
The
get the
allegedly
easy
easy
pick.
pick. We will not be
Yeah.
doing trades again this week, just because it's still too far out. Fuck.
Yeah.
Gotta mute myself.
I think after the combine.
Which is what, 2 weeks from now?
Yeah. It's in February. I know that. I was gonna say it's like March. No, I'm just wrong.
February 23rd through March 2nd. On-field workouts February 26th through March 1st. So yeah.
Okay, it starts in February, yeah.
2 weeks from tonight,
Yeah.
we'll be starting. So maybe at that point, we'll start mixing in a couple trades, see kind of what things happen here over the next couple weeks. Not a ton has changed since the last time we talked, other than obviously the Super Bowl happened. Rob Havenstein retired. And I think that's basically the only real move that's probably going to be anything that would affect a mock draft here. Obviously, some ancillary moves for teams signing futures contracts, things like that. But I don't think Velus Jones is going to prevent the Seahawks from addressing running back if they don't bring back Kenny Walker. So, you know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You never know. He could be the next Cordell Patterson. Tennessee Legends.
Have fun at Ohio State.
Yeah. Well, you know. Well, I'm not going to take too long on the Raiders. I'm just going to give him Mendoza, and we're going to move on to the Jets. They need a quarterback for all the reasons. Do I think they're ready? Probably not. Kubiak needs a quarterback, though. I hate Kubiak. He's a Raider now. That has changed technically, even though we kind of knew it was. Actually, I think 2 weeks ago it was like probably going to happen, but I don't know. But yeah,
I think 2 weeks ago it was like confirmed, but it's not technically confirmed until after it happens. You know.
Yeah.
Something could have theoretically fallen through.
Right. But yeah, so I think Mendoza is a nice little fit for what Kubiak would like. He's smart, can move enough to do like the West Coast play action stuff, and yeah, I think it's a good match. I think tough division for him to go into though. So with a team that's just not good, so it's going to take a couple of years. I think he might have a little bit of a rough first season, and some people are just going to think he's a bust and it's over. But I don't know. I think give him 2 or 3 years will probably be a pretty consistent quarterback there.
I agree.
Probably. Unless the team just sucks so bad and ruins him, and then he ends up on the Rams in 3 years and wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, he's smart enough. He has enough of the intangibles that he's going to be able to step in and do work there. They don't have the offensive line that they need. They
have weapons, though. They have weapons.
Yeah, their top weapon is their tight end. Their second top weapon is their running back. And I think Gentile.
There are receivers to be taken in the second round here
100%.
For them. Even 100%. A former teammate, maybe.
And, you know, the Raiders have the ability to address offensive line in free agency this year. It's a very deep free agent class for offensive line in general, especially interior offensive line. Tackle not as much, I don't think. There's some.
No, there's there, Todd Weaver, I think, from the Packers is like the golden, the prize. I think.
Yeah.
From what I can think of.
Like other than that, it's like you're taking a Mekhi Becton and hoping that he can play right tackle again or something like that. Like it's not.
Yeah, you're taking shots on former first rounders like maybe Trevor Penning,
Evan Neal.
Evan Neal. If you think he's still a tackle, I would just keep him at guard personally. But yeah.
I would too,
but yeah, players like that who you could take a shot on, but like you probably want to have a competition. You know, you probably don't want them to just be your starter.
100%.
So.
100%.
Yeah. Agree with that.
But yeah, so
here's the draft starts.
Basically, the Jets have a weird choice here. And again, I think once we start looking at trade scenarios, this is one where I could see them wanting to trade down. As we talk about every year, the problem with wanting to trade down is that another team has to want to trade up. Usually the impetus is not on the team that wants to move the pick. The impetus is on the team having a player that they've identified that is worth enough to move up for. Now, that's not to say that the Jets wouldn't be doing the right thing. I don't know what I just said. The Jets should still be calling teams, is what I'm trying to say. The Jets should be trying to make a move, probably, if they don't have a player that they've identified as, like, this is who we're taking it to.
Right.
But, you know, the question becomes, at what point can you take a guy here without trying to make a move like that? You know, maybe a team like the Giants, who on paper, the Giants have a pretty complete roster. They could use some offensive line help, but, like, they got...
Offensive line, they need, like, a number one corner, I think. And then, obviously, if they lose Wan'Dale and Neighbors having questions, I think they could definitely use another weapon. But besides that, yes, I do agree.
Let me put it this way. The Giants,
for being the fifth pick, yes.
For being the fifth pick and being 2 weeks away from the number one pick, the Giants have a better... Like, I don't understand why the Giants were as bad as they were, given the talent that I think
Jackson Dart going down.
100%.
Jackson Dart going
Injuries,
down.
Scatterbo
the Vossler
getting hurt,
coach.
Neighbors getting hurt, Dart going down. Like, those are three very large pieces, and I'm not trying to make light of that or pretend like that impact isn't felt. But, you know, you have three hybrid linebacker edge rusher types that are instant starters.
I think they probably try to move Thibodeau if they can to someone that needs an edge.
Probably.
Like, think about the Titans. Like, if they don't take, like, an edge in the first round, like, could they send their second-round pick, an early second? Don't know if Thibodeau is worth that, but maybe. He might be worth more. I honestly don't really know what his value would be, but that seems like decent value. I don't think they're going to get a one for him, to be honest. But
and I'm not saying that he's Brian Burns, because he's not.
Oh, they got a 1++, yeah.
They got...
wasn't 2 1s, but it was close, wasn't it? It was like a 1 and a 2 and something else.
No, they only got a second, a fifth, and a fifth-round swap.
I wonder if that was because he was about to be a free agent. I think that might have been it.
Yeah, I mean,
they were just trying to get something.
They had a contract stalemate, and it was a...
I think that's right. Because I remember being... Yeah, you're right. It was lower than it should have been.
But, you know, allegedly, if I remember correctly, the Giants offered 3 firsts for Brian Burns at, like, the deadline that year and didn't get him. If I remember that correctly. I could be wrong.
It was something stupid, yeah, it was.
Panthers played.
It was multiple firsts.
Yeah. But either way, I mean, that could be similar-ish.
Sure. I think a 2 plus something at most, yeah.
So at that point, too, Brian Burns had actively requested a contract, like he was going to need to get paid, blah, 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 blah.
Right. And
Thibodeau doesn't necessarily have to get paid. I think he is also coming up on a contract year, so, like, he should get paid.
Soon, and they're not going to be... I mean, yeah, then they're not going to pay him. They're not going to be able to pay 3 edges, so...
Right.
Assuming that Carter keeps improving. I mean, he was good, but, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Assuming that he's your future on the other side, but, yeah, you're not going to pay all 3.
Anyway, I'm picking for the Jets, so why do I not just shut the fuck up about the Giants? I don't know.
Well, you know, you're just looking ahead at my pick, you know.
Yeah. Well, I was actually, because I was talking about trading down, and the Giants could be a team that moves up here if they really like one of these wide receivers, and they want a wide receiver 1A to their 1B, or 1B to their 1A and Neighbors, or, you know, whatever. But with the Jets pick, it's so tough, because... There's one player that I really, really, really want to take for him, and it's Caleb Downs. I think he's the best player in the class. He is one of, if not the best safety prospect of my lifetime. Looking at the draft, on paper, like, he just doesn't have a weakness as a prospect. There's obviously a world where perfect prospects don't pan out. It happens all the time, really. But there's usually some sort of a weakness or a struggle area on paper. You know, you saw it with Stroud. He was not a perfect prospect coming in. He had issues with pressure. Shockingly, he gets to the NFL. They decided to trade their best tackle, and all of a sudden, you know, he gets pressured and he looks like dog shit. But
I think it's safe to say he's the safest player in this draft. I think.
Yes, he has.
There's a world where he's just like a sufficient starter.
Yeah,
but I think more than likely he's a plus starter.
I think by a lot. Actually, I think he has the highest floor, and I think that his ceiling is close to the top as well of any player that's here. True, realistic ceiling, I guess I should say, because ceiling on Jeremiah Love is Adrian Peterson. Yeah, sure, okay, but
Yeah.
But taking him at 2 is tough. Now, what pick was Jamal Adams? Was he 3?
He was top 5 or top 6.
Why can I not?
Top 7.
Why can I not Google Jamal Adams? Thank you, internet. Appreciate it.
I think we had this conversation last week.
Okay, he was 6th overall.
I'm pretty sure we had that last week, and I was like, yeah, he was top 5, and then he ended up being 6, and I was like, oh yeah, top 6.
Yeah, I think you're right. That makes me upset at myself for forgetting that. I was on a cruise. I have a reason to be forgiven.
True. There you go. You are forgiven.
It really makes me want to do it. I'm not gonna lie. I could sit here and make a strong argument that you should not be taking a safety at 2, and that the Jets should go David Bailey, they should go Ruben Bain, they should go Arvell Reese, they should go somebody else. You can make a strong argument for Tyson or Tate. Somebody at a more influential position that
maybe they think he'll fall to them at 16. Because this is...
Or, again, they can make a move up at some point with that pick or whatever.
Yeah. Sure.
Again, in my world, I think a perfect draft for the Jets here would be them moving down into the 5 to 7 range and hoping that Downs is still there.
Probably.
With all that being said, I'm just going to do it. I'm taking Downs for them at 2. It's early. It's way early. It's too early, arguably. But there is not a definitive number 2 in this class. We said that the first draft, and we're going to probably continue to say it until you're sick of us saying it. But there is not one player in this draft that, to me, I feel very confident saying he is going to be the 2nd overall pick.
As of today, no.
As of right now.
Well, there's no. There's not one.
There's
not one.
There's 6 or 7 players that I think you could have a strong argument for being the number 2 pick in the draft.
Yeah.
And that is a different situation than we've been in recent years. For better or for worse.
I like it. I'm down with it. Yeah.
And maybe they trade for Josh Downs and then they can play together.
True. Double downs with it. Yeah, so Arizona. I had a dream the other night that the Arizona Cardinals took Ty Simpson here at 3. So that just has to happen now. Mike LaFleur just fell in love with him. They lost Kyler Murray and he was just a Cardinal. So I'm not going to do it, but if it happens in real life, don't say I didn't tell you so.
Noted.
No, Arizona, I think they invested so much in their defense the last couple of years under Gannon, and it didn't do it. They just sucked still. They put so much draft capital, free agent signings into the defense, and it was still bottom 10, I think, this past couple 2 years. Don't quote me on that, but it was definitely bottom 10 this year. It was not good. The whole team just played like crap. Well, and I know Kyler's been in and out.
Total defensive yards when your offense can't stay on the field makes it
true.
Tough,
True, and I think
hard to fully fault the defense for it, but I mean, to your point, when you have a defense that on paper you've invested as much into in terms of draft capital, free agent signings, trades, you shouldn't be in the bottom 10, regardless of how bad the offense is. That's a situation where you're relying on the defense to pick up a poor offense somewhat.
Right. Yeah. I just think they have a lot of ways that they could also go, which I know is true. All these, top 10, top 5, especially teams, have a lot of needs. And sure, say it for every team. So this is the last time I'll say it. Free agency is going to come. some of these needs are going to whittle down a little bit. But I think something that they have to do here, and someone that I've grown on the past couple months, he was already probably my lineman one, but I have a hard time with them not taking it. That like if the first tackle is on the board here at 3 for them in this class, and I know that like an edge hasn't gone yet, but I think they're going to go offense under LaFleur. And whatever quarterback they put back there, they need offensive line help. We just talked about free agency. There's maybe one for sure good offensive tackle, and I really like Maui Noah a lot from Miami. He's definitely my tackle one in the class. Um, I know Spencer Fano also, he's a good prospect. I think he just doesn't have I just think the ceiling on Maui Noah is higher, and I liked what I saw more this year from him than Spencer Fano. I think the good thing about Spencer Fano is I believe he's played left and right tackle, so there's a little flexibility there. The Cardinals, though, they have what? Paris
Johnson at left.
Paris Johnson at left, and he's staying at left. So that doesn't really matter to me. Like, Francis has played right tackle, I think, the entire time he was at Miami, and it just feels like too good of a fit. This is a pick that I've done some mocks on my own time, and I've given them a different, like, gone a different route a couple times, but typically this is the route that I'm going, and I think for now it's what I'm going to stick with. Got to get, whether it's Kyler Murray, who I don't think it's going to be, I'm almost positive because I I don't remember the amount, but if he's on the roster after June 1st, it's like they're guaranteed another like 16 million next year. So like it would be even harder to cut him next year.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll probably try to sign somebody.
I mean, they could also
think this
just
year
stick with Brissett, honestly, for another year if they really.
if he wants to come back, yeah.
I think he's under contract,
I don't know.
Isn't he?
Is he?
I
That I don't know.
I thought he signed it 2. I could be wrong. I thought he signed a 2-year.
You might be right. I thought he was a free agent, but I was not.
Under contract.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, this is your first year there for this new regime. I think there's not expectations that they're going to be an elite team with all the quarterbacks coming out next year. I think that organization is going to be on the same page with, hey, like, let's just build this roster a little bit this year, and then hopefully next year it's in a better spot for rookie quarterback, Arch Manning to pair with another Harrison, so Manning and Harrison duos back together again. So yeah, I'm gonna give him Francis.
I like that. Oh, the other quarterback name that I did see because of Mike LaFleur was Garoppolo.
Could see that, but like,
is he really a starter?
I think it would be stupid of them because, like, what's the point in, like, I don't know, like.
But also, is Garoppolo actually going to win games?
But I get it.
Just a move that looks good to the fans. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see it. I can see it.
I like that pick for them a lot. And Maui Noah too. Yes, he's only played right tackle, but that's not bad. When you have
I think
Johnson, like you talked about, who plays left tackle, exclusively left tackle for him, and has been very good. And you got to be able to protect the blind side, and that's really important when you're going to trade Kyler Murray for Tua Tagovailoa straight up. So
I knew you were going there. Before you even said Kyler. I knew you were going there. You didn't even say Kyler yet, and I already knew Tua's name was about to come out of your mouth.
Well, somehow. Yeah, as soon as I said blindside, I was talking about a left-handed quarterback, and how many of those are there out there?
Yeah, well. Tim Tebow.
Yeah, maybe he's coming back out of retirement.
Never know if Philip Rivers did.
Yeah. Well, Mark Brunell might have a better chance at this point than Tim Tebow.
That's the rudest thing you've ever said.
Coming out of retirement. Tim Tebow's doing too much with special needs problems. He doesn't have time for the NFL anymore.
Yeah.
Shout out Tim Tebow. That's this week, by the way. If you're planning on attending. The Titans. I don't know, and maybe this is just a thing. It has to be, right? This is not ordered in... Is it? Is this supposed to be weighted, like, top need first on PFF?
That I don't know.
Because I thought it was
Because
just
that would be
in this
silly.
order, but running back was below wide receiver.
I thought it was weighted. Like I thought they had it ordered, but like running back seems weird.
Because it makes me really upset that running back would be the number one need of the Titans when they. And I understand that he hasn't been like amazing, but they really haven't given Spears a ton of opportunities, and it's not like he's a free agent. Neither is Tony Pollard. And yeah, they probably cut Pollard, depending on what his contract looks like this year. I don't know that off the top of my head, but like,
it shouldn't be their first need. It has to be a
first
mistake. Yeah, it has to be a mistake.
So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna complain about that until PFF changes it because I have a track record with them. Man, I mean, they have their pick right now of any edge rusher on the board.
Which, yeah, I would be shocked if that actually happens, but if it does, they got to be like, I mean, like, it definitely could happen because it just happened for us, but, like, they would be very happy with that, I think.
And again, I don't know that I actually think that it would happen. Now, I do think that if the team that the Jets would make a trade with would be the Giants, which I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I would like it to happen. The Giants are not trading up for an edge rusher. So
no, they'd be trading up for Maui Noah probably to put a right tackle because they think the Cardinals are going to take it.
Correct. Or, again, like we talked about, they could take Tyson or Tate.
True, yeah.
Yeah. But, there's a world where they have their choice of an edge rusher here, I guess is what I'm getting at.
For sure.
They could take Reuben Bain to pair him back up with Cam Ward.
Dude, I've been doing that. I just can't get it out of my head. Like, Reuben Bain, if he's there with Saleh, it's just, like, crazy. Bain, Simmons,
he does feel like a very solid type player.
Texas defensive lineman, I can't, Sweat.
Yeah,
just nasty. I mean, it's kind of, like, they can't really lose, man. Like, sure, like, obviously one of these guys could just not hit, but, like, David Bailey would fit there. Reese would fit there. Bam. I mean, all three of those guys, I can see Saleh liking.
What has Robert Saleh always had? Every stop that he's been at.
I think he likes the size more, like the bigger sized edge.
Yeah, because
like think about Bosa.
I'm saying like he had Fred Warner in San Fran. Then he went to the Jets, and didn't he bring Demario Douglas there? Am I making that up? No. Demario Douglas was a Saint long before.
They had
C.J. Mosley.
I can see his fit. Yeah, that's who I was thinking of. They had Mosley, yeah.
But I just feel like that it might be like, is Reese the best player available at this point? Maybe not, but he has versatility.
Yeah.
That I think is valuable.
He literally looks like Micah Parsons when he plays. So that I think if they draft him, he'll be as an edge. But I do see what you're saying. Like he could play. Like Parsons could play. Like off-ball linebacker if he wanted to. Reese could play off-ball linebacker if he wanted to.
Right.
I think his best position is edge.
Right.
But like the fact that like you could drop him back there, like yeah, like I don't know, like Saleh would definitely like that. I think they would probably
take him at 5, and then they could trade both 2 of their guys.
It's funny.
I like both of those options. Or, maybe Saleh feels comfortable with the defense the way that it is. Somewhat. Or
true.
They have a plan in free agency, and he decides that they need a wide receiver instead. Which, again, I don't think is their second biggest need. I think DK is fine. I think Yamanor, they got some run out of last year. Ridley is probably past his prime at this point, but he's still valuable enough. I think I gotta go defense here.
I think I would not be shocked if they went with a wide receiver. I still am just on, like, you got to get for them, they got to get the biggest, like, impact guy, and I really like the depth of wide receiver. Like, I really like the depth of wide receivers. So, in round 2 and 3, I think they got guys who could start for them probably there.
Agreed. All right. I'm taking Reese. I was going to try to talk
like
myself
that.
out of it, but I think I talked myself into it more.
It's fine because then the Browns are going to get Ruben Bain to go with Myles Garrett.
Sure.
I know you're in control, so probably not. All right, Giants. Just talk about them maybe trading up for a wide receiver. Probably the way that I'm going to go. But I just talked about, I don't know, I think it was on stream. Yeah, I think I just said it. So yeah, I think they need like a number one corner, like a lockdown possible guy.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be shocked if they liked Delane or McCoy here.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, for them, I wouldn't make that pick. But I just want to kind of shout that out because like they could definitely use that. I could see them going that way.
Mm-hmm.
I think if the board falls like this, again, I'm talking about trading. I think they might trade down. I know they get their pick of wide receiver, but with Bain and Bailey still there, I could see them being like, "Hey, like, does someone want to get in front of Cleveland here?" Who I know it's not saying it's one of their needs, but like I know they need offensive line, wide receiver, and all that too. But I could see them taking one of those edges if they're there.
Mm-hmm.
But I am going to give them Carnell Tate. And the reason I'm going to go Tate over Lemon and Tyson is I think for the way that the Giants are going to want to play, which I know this is a whole new regime, but to play with Jackson Dart's strengths, I think having what he does best, in my opinion, is pushing the ball down the field. The best deep ball receiver out of all of those three guys is definitely Carnell Tate. That is his like go-to thing. It's his 50-50 ball down the field. He kind of reminds me a little bit of like a George Pickens with his head on straight a little bit. I think Pickens might be a little bit better at the 50-50 part of it. Maybe it's close, but I think Tate has a little bit more separation skill. There's a little more wiggle to him, at least coming into the league. But I think they play similarly. So I could see that pairing really well with Dart. If Tyson was healthy, I could see them going that way. But like with Neighbors already having that like pretty bad injury, I would be shocked if they went that way because then it's like, well, do we have two guys who are just going to keep getting hurt all the time?
Right.
Because Neighbors has had a couple injuries already, so I know one wasn't huge, but it did keep him out. I think it was a hamstring or something,
yeah.
but yeah. But yeah, so I'm gonna go Tate. I think Tate and Neighbors would be an awesome combo for Dart to have.
Like a good Neighbors, State Farm is there.
You were waiting on that one. Huh?
I actually just came up with that on the spot, but yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah, I like that pick for them. I think that they are in a weird transitional phase, obviously in terms of leadership, but also roster. Again, Wandale is a free agent this year. I don't think they bring him back. They're going to probably be down their starting right guard and right tackle unless they bring them back. And honestly, even if they do, is Jermaine Illuminor really that good? I don't think so. Like you said, defensively, Paulson Adebo and Deonte Banks has not panned out to this point. Drew Phillips has been okay. Cordell Flott has been up and down, I'll say. And he's a free agent this year. They have a lot of needs at a lot of positions. Again, I don't disagree with you. This is definitely a position that could look to trade down, try to pick up some more capital. I also agree with you that when you're looking at having three very good defensive ends on paper, it just doesn't make sense. You know, you're playing Carter out of position somewhat, or you know you're putting yourself behind the eight ball. You know, there's a reason why teams don't have two good quarterbacks on their roster the majority of the time. You know, the backup is usually the backup for a reason. It does happen every once in a while. A situation falls a certain way. You know, not that I think that Joe Flacco is a perfect quarterback now, but like him and Burrow both being on the roster happened for a
2 Pro Bowl
reason.
quarterbacks.
You know.
Oh no, sorry, the wrong Ohio team.
Oh
My
right,
bad.
yeah. The Browns who went 3-14 with 2 Pro Bowl quarterbacks, the Defensive Rookie of the Year, the Defensive Player of the Year, set the sack record.
No wonder Stefanski got fired.
Stefanski, who developed 2 Pro Bowl quarterbacks.
Can't win any games with 2 Pro Bowl quarterbacks.
Anyway, so they need something. If they don't bring back Wan'Dale Robinson, honestly, there's an argument that they could take Makai Lemon, who offers a different role in the offense than what Neighbors does. So does Tate. I'm not discounting that. But I'm very high on Makai Lemon to the point that I don't think that he might not get out of the top 10, and I don't know that I'd be shocked by that. He also could slip further because he feels JSN-ish. Obviously, that was a different draft class, but, I think that almost any team that picked in the first 20 picks at this point would probably take JSN on their team over whoever they did take. Maybe that's not entirely accurate, especially towards the very top of the class, but if I remember correctly, the wide receivers who were taken before JSN have not panned out anywhere near as well. But yeah, I think that Tate makes sense here. Like you talked about, he's a big-bodied, deep threat, contested catch kind of guy. Feels very much like Rashad Bateman to me. Who the Giants are obviously going to want to get their replacement for in a John Harbaugh style offense. But what I was getting at earlier that I didn't because I'm stupid, the Giants could also see a lot of turnover on their roster with Ravens free agents as well. The Ravens have a lot of guys who are going to hit free agency and could address some of these positions. I mean, John Michael Schmitz has not done enough for me if I'm a Giants fan to be like, this has to be the guy at center anymore. Linderbaum could be the guy at center, and you could bump JMS to guard. I was really high on JMS coming in. I just don't think he's necessarily performed to that level. But there's a lot of guys that the Ravens have that are going to be hitting for agency that I think make a difference in some capacity for what the Giants could be looking to do to impart some of the Ravens culture on the Giants team and make a difference there. But with that said, I don't think the Ravens have a Carnell Tate on roster or a player that is similar who's going to be hitting free agency. I was joking, obviously, when I said that Rashad Bateman reminded me of him. Because Rashad Bateman's nowhere near as good, but, he's just a bigger frame kind of guy. Hopkins could be headed to the Giants. I think that would make sense. But even if they do sign DeAndre Hopkins, you're signing him to probably a 1-year deal. And at that point, does that stop you from taking Carnell Tate? No, it doesn't. Like we talked about, on paper, the Giants have a relatively decent roster for where they are picking, which is a luxury and a strength for them, that they have the flex to take a guy that, has a lot of big play potential that could be fun for them, like Carnell Tate. The Browns, on the other hand, are dog shit and should feel bad for existing. Literally every one of their starting offensive linemen is a free agent this year. David Njoku is not going to be back. Their backup right guard is a free agent this year. They need wide receiver because Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, and Isaiah Bond aren't getting it done for me, but every single one of their starting offensive linemen is a free agent. And until they address that, I feel like you have to look at that here. Yeah, there's a chance that when you pick again at 24, there's going to be another one. But they need 2. It's not just 1. There's an argument that they could take Jordan Tyson here. There's an argument that they could take David Bailey or Ruben Bain here. But I think that you have to look at offensive line, and we talked about Fano playing both left and right tackle. The season that he played at left tackle, he had a horrible PFF grade, which PFF grades are, whatever, but there's obviously a reason why they moved him to right tackle. And he played significantly better after that point. He has size, not as much size as Caden Proctor, but he's an option. I don't know what the Browns are going to value in terms of their offensive lineman this year. Todd Monken, as their head coach, tells me that they're going to value the run game. I don't know what they're going to be thinking defensively because they don't have a defensive coordinator. Good job on that one. Luke Whippler, we both liked a good amount when he was coming out. Dawan Jones, you liked a good amount when he was coming out. They have options at their different offensive line positions. Maybe they don't address some of these positions because of that. Maybe they like Luke Whippler enough. Maybe they like Dawan Jones enough. Both teammates at Ohio State.
Yeah,
maybe they like Kendrick
Dawan
Green
just can't
enough,
stay healthy.
Yeah, and Luke Whippler's had his share of injury issues too. But, maybe they re-sign some of these guys. That's certainly an option. I don't know. Joel Bitonio's not getting any younger. Jack Conklin's not getting any younger. But until they make a move, I feel like, and again, it's unorthodox, and I hate that I'm doing this, but I think I'm going to give him Vega.
Vega!
He's just a mauler, and, when you have a team... That's not what I want to do. That has 2 startable running backs, arguably 3 in Jerome Ford, which also is an argument to say they have 0 startable running backs. But when they have a rotation like that, and what I will kindly refer to as question marks at the quarterback position.
I don't know. Todd Monken said some good things about Shedeur, and he just said some good things about Deshaun Watson now. He likes him. He thinks he could start.
Todd Monken's in the Epstein files. So when you have that sort of a team, where you're probably not looking at Cedric Tillman and Jerry Jeudy to be big producers, you're probably not looking at your passing game to be what makes you great. You're looking at the run game that they haven't really had over the past couple of years, with Nick Chubb getting hurt and then obviously leaving. Vega gives you the option to do that. He is a phenomenal run-blocking guard who is just a mauler. He gets to the second level. He's athletic enough to do that. He hits, and he hits hard. Mm-hmm. He's also a very good pass-blocking guard, and that's not a dime a dozen thing anymore. We used to see... I feel like I used to be able to name at least 15 to 20 starting guards that would be plug and play on any team that were elite pass and run blockers. The Cowboys usually had at least 3 of them. But, that isn't a luxury anymore. You have Quinn Miners, who is arguably the best guard in the league.
Lindstrom's pretty good.
There. Who'd you say?
Chris Lindstrom from the Falcons is pretty good.
Chris Lindstrom. You have
Quentin Nelson.
Nelson, I was just going to say that.
Dickerson, if he's healthy.
Names. Landon Dickerson, who's retiring. Rest in peace.
Tyler Smith, probably. Speaking of the Cowboys, Trey Smith, maybe.
But there aren't as many elite guards anymore. There's a reason why Mekhi Becton got paid $60 million last year to go play for the Chargers, because he had a career revitalization at guard for the Eagles, and it made him the best, most valuable guard on planet Earth. Robert Hunt got paid $20 million or something like that a year, something ridiculous by the Panthers, to go play guard for them because there's that few elite offensive guards. And I think the league is slowly shifting. I think we talked about this last year. Some, positions that used to be not valuable positions safety and guard and tight end to an extent and running back to an extent. Like, these positions are slowly being realized for their value. Nickelback is another big one.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
teams
Jake
are
McMillan
exactly
gonna get a bag.
Trent McDuffie. You know, kind of helped to revolutionize that.
Devin Witherspoon.
Devin Witherspoon. You know, Nicky Memori, kind of too. You know, like having players like that at quote unquote non-premium positions is a big difference. And in a draft class like this that we've already talked about, there's 17 guys that could go at the numbers 2 pick. Non-premium positions have more inherent value. I think we talked about it last year. I'm going to keep talking about it this year. And even though guard at 6 is something that probably shouldn't happen in a draft like this, there's a real world that it does.
He's my top offensive lineman in general. So
right.
Him and Francis are close.
Right, but I'm saying,
but it's not a premium position.
Correct.
Apparently,
just because he's my top guy doesn't mean he would be the top guy to go.
Sure.
Because teams value tackle more than guard, and you know, there's an argument that Fano could have been the pick here because, you know, he is that premium position, and he's probably not too far off if you want him to just play right tackle, which they're going to. He isn't horrifically far off from Mawanoa. He's far enough that I think it justifies Mawanoa going way earlier. But
I think some people will have Fano higher, possibly too.
I don't. Todd Monken was one of those people. Shout out Daniel Faalele. But you know, because I guess that's the other thing we have to look at is what was Georgia's offense like when Todd Monken was there?
Power run,
and big, beefy burrito offensive lineman. You know, like that's their calling card. And if that's what they're looking for, then again, maybe Fano is the guy. Because he's what, 6'6", 308. Yeah, like he's a big boy. Vega is 6'4", 328, so it kind of still fits that mold. I'm not saying it doesn't, but
yeah.
I guess the flip side of it, just to finish this out real quick, and then I'll let you talk and shut up. The Browns are under the microscope. Andrew Berry's under the microscope. They've made a lot of really bad moves in recent years, and they may not have the longevity and the ability to take a non-premium position player because of that. Their fans are sick and tired of down year after down year, and
this is normal.
You know, well, it is normal, but Myles Garrett's probably going to request 3 trades before the draft even gets here, and then say, "Just kidding, I actually want to stay here. This is my favorite team. I love this place," and you know, they may not have the ability to take a guard at 6, frankly. But you know, like you said, he's your number 1 offensive lineman. He's my number 1 offensive lineman. True, just grade. Like, who do I want? I want him.
Him and Francis are probably back to back for me. Like, I could probably go either way.
Right.
But I'm also
the premium positional value of Francis probably pushes him up for most people and puts it in a different scenario than what we're looking at.
For sure. Just to go back on your point about guards, as per PFF, top 10 guards: Quinn Miners 1, Chris Lindstrom 2, Dotson 3, pretty big gap. Quentin Nelson 4, Peter Skoronski 5, Joe Thuney 6. This is last year's grades. Damian Lewis 7, Mike Owenu 8, Sam Cosmi 9, Steve Avila 10. Yeah. So like, good players, but after the top like 6 or 7, it's like, you know, you could probably find another one of these. Like, so player and again, grades, like who cares, right? But the first 3 have like almost 90s, and then 4 and 5 have 84 and 79, and then 6 through 22 all have like mid 70s grades. Which, granted, they're stupid grades, but it does say like there's like the top of the top, and then everybody else is just kind of like, you know, they're good, but there's not any that are just like most of those guys are probably better at pass or run blocking, and they probably have some deficiencies here and there. So yeah, just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
All right, where are we at? We are at the Commanders at 7. The Sunny Styles thing is like a really good fit. I've seen it a lot. I know you did it last week. I've done it myself a few times. I think Sunny does have. I mean, I have had him like 1 on my big board. He's going to be top 3 for me. I don't know where, but he'll be top 3. He's incredible. If there's any way he drops past the top 10, I hope the Broncos trade up. I trade your first next year. I don't care. Trade up and get him. Like, that's the type that he is the guy in the middle of the field. He's like the one piece I think the Broncos need on that defense. Like, if they had him and kept everybody else, re-signed John Franklin Myers, like, it would be insane. Not to talk about the Broncos already, but like he's a game changer. He's a game changer.
Who's the guy that you have that I love that has never panned out because he's always hurt? Drew Sanders.
Yeah, it's Drew Sanders on crack times 1,000. Yes. Yeah. But Ruben Bain's here. I think Dan Quinn would just take Ruben Bain. I'll be honest with you. Like, they need an edge pretty badly. I can see him liking David Bailey a lot, too. And I was debating those two. I just think they had some trouble defending the run, and I think Bain is I look at his grade. His grade is an 86. And again, who cares about the grades? Bailey's is 81. It's also about the size. Like, Bailey's more that speed rusher, whereas Bain is the power rusher. He kind of sets the edge a little better. So to me, I think they like both of them, but I'm going to give him Bain because he doesn't usually fall to 7, so I don't know that he would get past them if he falls that far.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That kind of feels like his floor. I think the Saints is his actual floor because, like, maybe somebody's there at 7. Like, maybe they're in love with Sunny Styles. But, like, the Saints, there's no way they're not taking Bain. Like, that is a Saints type of a player. So, but yeah. Speaking of the Saints.
Yeah, now I'm trying to think to myself if there's any argument to not take David Bailey here. Cam Jordan is a free agent this year. They have Carl Granderson, who doesn't really push the needle to me.
The only thing I would say, I don't know if that's their... They could definitely use him. It's not their usual edge type.
I know, but, like...
Well, you were asking for any argument.
I know. Chase Young has turned into a better run defender than what he was coming out. And
for sure. Better.
The Saints could take Jordan Tyson, though.
Well, he's just... him and Bailey are the same player.
They kind of need Jordan Tyson. Even with Bailey, they could start Jordan Tyson and Bailey.
Chris Olave?
Yeah, they need 3. Bailey could be your slot guy. Mason Tipton is currently a starting wide receiver on
Hey, Bub Means Business is on that roster somewhere.
So is Jalen Polk. And Trey Palmer.
I know. They could use wide receiver. Obviously. It's their number 1 need. Give Shuck some weapons. I like that.
I think you gave them last
week. I think I gave him Tate.
Did you? Oh, you might have.
I think.
You might have. I probably said some choice words about that, too.
Oh, another Ohio State guy. Oh, no wonder.
But I think...
Don't worry, I picked him this week, too.
I think I have a different direction that I want to go. Can I justify that?
Sure, you can justify anything.
I don't know that I actually can. I was going to try to talk myself into the lane and keeping him in the bayou, but I don't know that I can justify that. They have Kool-Aid, they have Quincy Riley, who I think are both good enough. They have so many needs. They're finally almost out of cap hell, though.
I think they're going to try to add for Shuck, if I had to guess.
Yeah, they probably will.
Right now.
It's also Kellen
if
Moore.
If they love one of the wide receivers. Yeah, I can see the land though. I'm not discounting
Yeah,
that.
but Mickey Loomis.
I can see them going.
Shot, so they could also take anybody that they wanted to here.
I can see them just being like, Kamara. We don't want Kamara anymore. Let's just take Jeremiah Love. Like it wouldn't shock me.
I almost said that.
Wouldn't shock me.
I almost said that, but then
I hope it happens because I don't want the Chiefs to get it.
Pick a number 1 or 2.
2.
Okay. Jordan Tyson.
Boom.
Done.
Jordan Tyson. I like that. Yeah, if the injuries weren't there, like the injury concerns, I would have him wide receiver 1. Mm-hmm. Like.
Yeah, and obviously wide receiver injury concerns are a big deal for the Saints because you have Olave who's made out of glass. Vele has been banged up a couple times in the last couple of years, but on paper, he also just has some sick ability. Where if you think that the injuries are kind of a fluky thing, you feel confident in your ability with your coaching staff and your strength and conditioning coaches to work on that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What injuries has he had specifically?
Who? Tyson? He had one bad knee. I think he had one was I thought one was like a hamstring thing, and I can't think of the other one. There was 3. He had 3. One was a bad one, but that one wasn't the most recent, or it's been over a year since he's had the knee. So the knee should be fine. I thought one was a soft tissue though, like a hamstring or something.
Well, his Wikipedia page doesn't tell me shit, so that's good.
I can't remember. Knee in 2022. Yeah, that's right. So the knee has been the longest. Knee, collarbone, hamstring was the most recent. Knee in 2022, collarbone 24, hamstring 25.
And again, the ACL, MCL, PCL, that's the biggest one. A completely blown out knee in 22 minutes.
And it's been 3 years since then, almost 4 or what, Correct. So yeah, the hamstrings happened. Collarbone's a freak injury. Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
Hamstring, that's the nagging one. That's the one that you want to avoid.
Sure.
And Olave has had his fair share of hamstring injuries too, but he is such a crisp route runner and makes so many harsh cuts, to get open, that if his knee was still an issue, he would have re-injured it by now. So it makes me think, and again, ACLs happen, it could happen again for him, I'm not saying it wouldn't, but he's rebounded well enough from that injury that it doesn't make me scared about taking him.
Sure. Yeah. I'm going to assume in this scenario the Chiefs get a free agent running back. Because I really do think they're going to try to go for Breece Hall. ETN, Breece Hall, if Kenny Walker makes it to, whatever. I think they'll probably go that route first, not knowing because again, who knows? Maybe Love isn't there. They're not going to want to bank on that just in case he's not there at 9. So this is, I'm trying to not give them Sonny Styles because I would hate that. But I think there's an argument that Drew Tranquil and Leo Chenal, they have Nick Bolton in the middle, but they played that. They kind of play 3-4, but they play a multiple, so they have 3 linebackers out there a lot that are playing off ball, so I could see them taking Sonny. I'm not gonna do it, but if he's there, I could see it. David Bailey doesn't feel like their type of edge.
Not really, no.
And they need more D line. They need more D line, anyways. I'm not gonna do this, but I think Caleb Banks is going before Peter Woods. I can see them taking Caleb Banks.
I also feel like Peter Woods feels like a Chiefs kind of player, though, too, to me.
He does. This last year was obviously not good, but again, we talked about 2 weeks ago, the whole Clemson team was bad. So I really still like Peter Woods a lot. I just think looking at Spags, the way that Caleb Banks plays, like Peter Woods is a really good player, but like Caleb Banks plays with like his hair on fire
Mm-hmm.
as a D tackle, and he's just big. Like he can play all like he can play one tech, three tech. Technically, I think he could play five tech if he wanted to, like outside the tackle. I'm sure he didn't do it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I'm not going to do it, but like that is something I'll definitely give them at some point because I do think he's going to go higher than people think. Um, I can see them falling in love with Sadiq. I know it's early. I can see them taking a wide receiver if one of them's here because like Rashid Rice stuff, he keeps getting in trouble. Worthy, I've never liked really. I think he's a gadgety kind of player, and then they don't have anybody else that's worth anything in my opinion. So, like, could they take Lemon? I think he's similar to Rice in some ways. So it's like
Also, to that point,
I don't
Hollywood, Tyquan Thornton, and Juju are all free agents. So,
right
I
and
mean,
like
you like Jalen Royals a good amount, but is he startable?
sure. Sure, I think he could be like I really liked Jalen Rose last year, so like
Or I guess I
that's
should
a good
rephrase it.
call out.
Is he top end starter material in their offense? If
I think he
not,
could be, but like you want to project that and like bank on that, no.
right.
But I can see them going and getting like an Alec Pierce to replace
Hmm.
Thornton, like a downfield
Dude,
threat like that.
if the Chiefs get fucking Alec Pierce,
They might.
I would
That would be perfect.
I would
It would be
lose it.
perfect for them.
I would
They,
lose it.
they
How many fantasy shares do I
um
have? I need to look into this while you're talking about this because I would be.
I have quite a few myself, so I am going to do something that's probably a little weird, but I've heard
I have
that
4 shares of Alec Pierce right now.
that's a lot for you, kind of.
4 out of 18, I think, something like that.
Yeah. I've heard that, I mean, not even just heard, he didn't have a good season. Jawan Taylor might not be a Chief for very much longer. Whether that's this year or next year, I think they can get out of it. And Spencer Fano seems like a good replacement if I was going to give them one at right tackle. And it's kind of a weird pick. It's like as of right now, they might not do it, but I mean PFF does have it as a need, so I think it's people are aware that, and they're aware because I know I'm not the only one that's heard this. Obviously, like I've been seeing it floating around that Jawan Taylor, he had a really bad year. He has never really had great years. Honestly, he's been overpaid. He's just been okay at best. And I mean, as a Broncos fan, I've seen Nick Bonito just eat him for lunch the past at least 2 years. I think he's been there 2 years, but I've seen, yeah. So I'm gonna give him Fano to just kind of make it a little different.
I like that. Obviously, I mean Jeremiah Love is there and is part of the conversation, But
For sure he is. But like
again,
if they
he's the obvious
get Brees
pick,
Hall and they spend 20 or what, I don't know what he's gonna get, 15 million a year or something like that. Like I would be shocked if they signed Brees Hall to a 3-year deal, and then you know what I mean. So like, but I get it. As of today, they don't have one, so that would probably be the logical pick is to go Love.
Right.
But
which is gross.
It's gonna change.
And I hate it. But
it is, which is why I'm not doing it.
Okay, so where does that leave us with the Bengals?
Bengals.
Man.
I know what I would do.
I know I know what you would do, and I'm trying to talk myself out of doing it because I don't know how I can.
There's two good things that they could do, actually.
There's a lot of good things they could do.
I think you have to do one of these two.
You're either going David Bailey or you're going Sonny Styles. Those are the two options in my mind. They don't list edge as a need because PFF is retarded and made out of bricks.
That's because they're not. Because for them right now, Hendrickson's still on the roster, and they just drafted an edge, so I'm sure that's probably why.
But that's stupid because he's a free agent.
I agree with you. Well, they have D-line, which I think.
Well, by that argument, I would say that the Browns don't need guard or tackle because they currently have them on the roster, but they do because they're all free agents.
I wonder if D-line is. Well, I don't know. Whatever. PFF's stupid. You're right. Continue.
Okay. Anyway. I could also talk myself into them taking Keldrick Falk for David Bailey, frankly. He feels like more of their style of player. He's bigger, which I think they value.
Yeah.
But man, doesn't Sonny Styles feel like if Logan Wilson
Stays in
wasn't a
the
dirty
state.
bastard?
Stays in the state too.
Stays in the state. He's the best linebacker they've ever had, bar none. Shout out AJ Hawk.
Shout out Ray Maualuga.
I did forget about Ray Maualuga. Fuck Vontaze Perfect though. Sonny Styles gets to go up against Vega twice a year still, you know?
Hey, yeah.
I'm going to do it, but I really don't want to click the button. You know how hard it is for me to be sitting here? My finger is on the mouse, and my brain is just not letting me press the button.
Well, if you don't do it now, he's going to fall to the Ravens at 14, and you're going to have to make that decision.
No, because I'll take him to the Cowboys and say he can be the Logan Wilson replacement.
Well, it is a need there. So yeah, you're right.
Sean Lee, 2.0.
Better.
Leighton Vander Esch.
I liked Vander Esch a lot, though. It's just injuries.
I did too. He just, yeah.
All right, so Sonny Styles.
I wanted Vander Esch on the Steelers so bad that year.
Me too, dude. I wanted the Broncos so bad. He was mocked to the Broncos over and over and over and over.
I can't be that mad about that though. I think that was that the TJ Watt year? Am I making that up?
Oh no, it was probably the year we took fucking Paxton Lynch. I don't remember.
Oh, shit, I want to mock. I want the actual draft. Was it 2018? Am I making this up? It might have been 2017.
I don't know.
No, it wasn't. That was Taco Charlton.
2018. 2018.
Of course. So I was right about 2018. Okay. Should have just followed my gut, but nope. Cowboys took LVE. Steelers took Terrell Edmonds that year. That's right.
Yeah, that was the year that we didn't take Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Bradley Chubb.
Awesome. Love that for us.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Dolphins. I'm still projecting they get Malik Willis. I do think they're going to need a quarterback. I think two's gone. Probably. If he's not gone, they need one still. They need one that has a brain still. They could just take another Alabama quarterback and go Ty Simpson, but I think they'll go free agent route / trade route for quarterback. Probably. Right. Like a Mac Jones type for sure. Someone that has a little upside for this year and maybe, if it pans out. If not, then draft one next year. I don't like Lemon for them. I think I could see them being a team that gets like Romeo Doubs too. I know it's another Packers thing, but like he's a free agent. Tyreek's gone. They don't really have a good number 2 for Waddle. I think Lemon is an option here, but I think this is just where the first corner is going to go. I don't know who I think should go for them. Pretty sure I think I gave them McCoy last week, or you did. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure they went more last week. I can see it going either way. I think more than likely, if McCoy played this year, I think, and if he looked at least close to what he looked like 2 years before, especially the year before, I don't think there's a question. I think he's going the first corner because it was just so dominant. I think because of the injury, there's a conversation, and I think Delane's good. I'm not saying he's not good, obviously, but to me now it's close. Whereas before, I don't know that it would have been as close. It would have been. I think McCoy would have been like a lock to go top 10. I don't think teams that need corner. I could have seen the Giants taking McCoy if he had done what he did 2 seasons in a row. I would have liked that pick for them.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think what the pack, what Hafley would like. I think he's going to want the playmaking ability, and I think McCoy has playmaking ability, but I think Delane might have a little bit more. I think McCoy is a little bit more of the he plays the receiver a little more than the ball. So I'm going to go Delane here for the Dolphins.
I like it. Cowboys is...
The corners are horrible. I know I didn't say that, but their corner situation is just
horrendous. Let's take a look real quick. I think Eli Apple might be a starter on that team still.
I don't even remember. I know it's bad though.
I'm making that up. That was a joke. If it's true, I'm gonna cry. Storm Duck and Rasul Douglas, Jack Jones, Artie Burns, Jason Marshall.
It's so bad.
And also,
they need to get up.
Kohu, Ashton Davis, Rasul Douglas, Jack Jones, Ifeatu Melifonwu, AJ Green, Elijah Campbell, and Artie Burns are all free agents. So
yeah, I mean they're gonna have to sign a couple of
Juju Brents, Storm Duck, Jason Marshall. You know.
Yeah, it's bad. It is bad.
I feel like in this scenario that has played out, the way that it has played out, the Cowboys have to be sprinting to the podium for David Bailey, right? Like, they can't not be, right? I mean, they're probably going to re-sign Rico Dowdle or Javonte Williams. If they didn't, then I think Love is in play. But, man, like, you lose Parsons because you're stupid.
Yeah. And you get rewarded with David Bailey.
Able to take another player that 4 years from now you're going to try to negotiate with them instead of their agent and then lose. But, like, man, what an opportunity for them.
True. Funny.
Back to you.
Yeah. I'm looking at the Rams. I mean, I think I'm going to give them McCoy, but I'm looking at their chart really quick.
I think if Fano was still here.
Oh no! You know what? I'm not. I'm doing something else. I like McCoy to them. I think they need corner. I think the way they run their defense, they have done well without having like a shutdown guy. So like, they have some good players. I know McCreary is a free agent, so like. But I mean, they've made Forbes play really well. Kobe Durant's been pretty good for them. Darius Williams, like none of those guys are stopping me from taking McCoy, obviously. But Davante Adams is not going to be there forever. And talk about a Super Bowl run type of a pick. Like having Davante Adams, Puka Nacua, and Mekhi Lemon on the same team with Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay calling plays. Like, middle of the field, Stafford loves throwing in the middle of the field. Like, he can drive the ball in the middle of the field. Mekhi Lemon is a middle of the field demon. So is Puka. So is Davante Adams. They can play all three positions. Like, slot, XZ.
Jordan Whittington, you know?
Yeah, well, this is a 30,000 times better Jordan Whittington. Sure.
I'm giving them Lemon. So keep that in mind. They have to balance.
Yeah.
Tyler Higbee, Colby Parkinson, Terrence
sure.
Ferguson.
They can go and play whatever personnel they want, and probably they'll have a mismatch somewhere. Gross. I'm giving them Lemon. Doing it. I would take Lemon for them over Tate and over Tyson. I would. Truly. I think I really would.
I would make an argument for Tate.
You make an argument for... Maybe because you're like, a deep threat, but like Puka can do that too. Like he's a really good deep threat.
But Puka's a better. I would make, in order, I would go Tate, Lemon, Tyson probably. Tyson to me is just the same thing essentially as Davante at this point of his career and is similar to Puka. I think Puka's a better deep threat, like you said, and just a better all around receiver.
I can see Tate or Lemon.
All good route runners. The only thing that I will say about this, and I will leave it at that because I agree with you that it's a disgusting pick, is the Rams always seem to find that like middle of the draft stud wide receiver.
Yeah, and I
and
agree with
there's going to be
you.
guys there that if that's their MO, then that's going to be their MO. Like, if they have the opportunity to take a tackle here or McCoy or whatever, like they might go that route over Lemon. But again, this is a thought exercise, so I'm not going to harp on that point. I think that Lemon is a phenomenal pick for him, and you know,
you also have to think that they might change a little bit their philosophy, being
100%.
like Stafford's the end of his career now.
100%.
Like really, like he's got a couple years. Let's give him let's not take a chance on a 5th-round wide receiver, and let's go get like the guy we know who can start day one.
Yeah.
So, but I do see what you're saying for sure. Makes sense.
Kenny Galladay's coming to retirement.
Oh, gross. Gross.
Okay. Ravens.
Well.
Most of their defensive starters are going to be back this year. They could use a safety, but there isn't one here that you're taking. I don't think Nate Wiggins played well enough last year, and neither did Marlon Humphrey, that they would not take a cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
Marlon Humphrey's also not getting any younger, which opens the door for the Ravens to take Jermon McCoy.
Mm-hmm.
Defensive tackle they could look at. Washington and Travis Jones both played decently this year, but there's opportunity for improvement, especially given the fact that no defensive tackle has been taken so far. They could go Banks or Peter Woods. They both feel like Jesse Minter kind of guys, too.
I agree.
Derrick Henry isn't getting any younger. There's an argument that they could take Jeremiah Love and just have a disgusting 1-2 punch for like a season and then have the replacement on standby. I think they need offensive line a decent amount. I think they need wide receiver a decent amount. I'm trying to get into the mindset of the Ravens, which is a scary place to be. For
they're just like, hey, this is the best player here. Done.
Right. But it's. I will say this: in years past, it always winds up working out that the Ravens are sitting there and there's an obvious player that's on the board where it's like, yeah, we're going to take this guy and you all are going to have to eat it. Kyle Hamilton, that happened with. It happened with.
Tyler Linderbaum.
Green happened with Tyler Linderbaum. Happened with Malachi Starks. Kind of happened with Nate Wiggins.
Yeah.
Those are probably.
Did you say Mike Green already?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Those are probably the most notable ones over the last handful of years. There isn't one guy that's still left here that to me feels like the obvious like home run pick that the Ravens are accustomed to, which is weird because they're picking at 14, which is earlier than they normally would be picking at. I think Kyle Hamilton was in that range, actually, now I'm saying that out loud. But, like, edge, I guess they could use edge, too. But they just took Mike Green last year. So it kind of depends on how they feel about Tavius Robinson, who I feel like they're decently high on. They are losing both Jones and Kyle Van Noy and David Ojabo all to free agency. But I could see them bringing back one of them at least.
Yep. I see that too.
Because Falk would be fun for them. It would be bad for me, but it would be fun for them.
Yeah, I like Falk. I like Hal too.
I feel like, honestly, I don't even.
Caleb Banks feels like
Parker to them also feels good. Caleb Banks feels great. Peter Woods, I think, would feel okay. I think he plays. I don't know that they. I don't know exactly what they're looking for at defensive tackle. I'll say that much. Matabuike, I think, is still playing at a fairly high level, if I remember correctly from last year.
It's a tough pick a little bit. I think I know what I would do, but it's a tough pick. You kind of hit the point where it's like there's good players, but there's not anybody that. I mean, well, I think McCoy and Love are obviously really. I mean, I don't know. Those two stand out.
Dude, I'm gonna make another fucking bad pick. Objectively bad pick.
Oh.
Where did Declan Doyle come from? Chicago.
Bears. Oh yeah, Chicago, and then he started with Sean Payton.
Right.
So Sean Payton 3. Sean Payton, Ben Johnson.
What did the Bears do last year when they were looking at their roster?
They took a bunch of offensive linemen and then another wide receiver.
They brought in whoever else to play the other guard position. What does Sean Payton always like to have?
Yeah. Offensive line trenches is where the game is won.
Is it too early to take Emmanuel Pregnon?
I mean, probably, but also in this class, like, if you like it, you like it, man. You know? He had a crazy good season this year.
Because I would make the argument for Proctor bumping to guard in their scheme. But I feel like
he should play guard.
I think there has to be some level of fear.
Yes.
With that, because you have Faalele, who they tried to do the same thing, and he has struggled mightily.
Agreed.
Pregnon played so well this year.
He did.
And I think he's probably a better run blocker than Vega is. I think he's a slightly worse pass blocker. But it's early, but like we talked about, I mean, it's hard to say what's going to happen, because when you look at the teams that have had success recently, what did the Lions do that one draft class where everybody was like, what the hell are they doing? They took Jahmyr Gibbs and...
Yep.
Why can't I think of his name?
Jack Campbell.
And who's the safety?
Jack Campbell.
From
Brian.
Brian Branch.
No.
Brian Branch.
Branch.
They took all three of those guys in the first round. All three of those are not premium positions, but they said, "Screw you. We don't care what you think." There was a lot of people clowning on him for that draft. That looked at it and they were like, "This is the dumbest draft I've ever seen."
Yeah,
you wasted your 3 first-round picks on non-premium positions.
But if they had taken those 3 guys in different orders, because like, oh my God, Brian Branch fell to the second round. If they took him, or they took like Gibbs, and then they took Gibbs, or they took Campbell, or they took, you know what I mean? Right. They just move everybody down one. I think everybody would have been fine with it. So like, it's so stupid.
Right. It is stupid, but like, my point is, if you have the guy, you have the guy, and I think that the Ravens might want to do something like that. They have a very young coaching staff. If the young coaching staff wants to be aggressive and bring in the guys that they...
Get them Pregnon.
I'm doing it.
Make them Pregnon.
I've now given
Bucks are taking...
the Ravens and the Browns both guards in the first 14 picks, which makes me
so funny.
Happy.
It's so funny. And then the Bengals and Sonny Styles. The Bucks are taking Jermar McCoy. Like, I've been thinking about it back and forth. Like, oh yeah, they took Parrish and Ben Morrison last year. I like Ben Morrison on the outside. Parrish is an awesome nickelback. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to confirm. Zion McCollum.
It's a free agent, right?
Sure. No, Jamal Dean is, though.
Oh, right.
So, like, Ben Morrison, who I don't think even played a lot last year. You have Ben Morrison projected to start. Zion McCollum is okay. And then you have Josh Haynes, I think. So, yeah, I think if McCoy's here, I think they need a corner bad enough that he would be the number one. Parrish could play nickelback, and then you can either sign someone or have, either Zion or Ben Morrison playing the other spot, and that's a pretty good pair. I mean, at worst, you got 4 good corners, so that's not that one goes down. I mean, you play dime nickel all the time, so yeah, I just think he's the best player there.
I like that.
Yeah, they're like, I thought about going edge with Falk or Howell, but I think they can wait. I think there are some good day 2 corners, but like this is just a game changer corner to me. So
yeah, I like that a lot.
On to the Jets. Yeah, that would be a good pick if he's there.
I think this is probably the upper echelon of the range that you can start talking about Sadiq a little bit more. They need tight end fairly bad.
Mason Taylor trash talk?
Sorry, no. Let me rephrase. I'm sorry. I was still talking about the Buccaneers pick.
Oh,
I'm
I was
sorry.
like,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
how
I'm sorry.
dare
I'm sorry.
you?
No. The Buccaneers pick, I'm saying, is probably the
Sure.
upper
If
echelon
they
of where
don't
I
get
think
Otten
him and
back,
Sadiq.
I think they'll probably sign Otten because I think they like him and they could probably get him cheap.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But as of right now, on paper, they need it.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. This is where I would start talking about him.
One of the edges could still be the guy there, especially if one of the guys falls. But, I mean, given the way the board fell, I think that McCoy is just disgusting here.
Combination of BPA and fits a need, yeah.
Right.
Possible BPA, I guess Love's on the board, but
yeah, I'm really trying to think if I can talk myself out of taking Love. I think the Jets have a shot at bringing back Breece Hall. I know that they have.
They could
Braylon
technically
Allen,
franchise
feel
tag
okay
him.
about. And there's other free agent running backs that they would probably feel decent about pairing with Braylon Allen to make something out of it.
Yeah.
But I gave him.
Are they going Caleb Downs,
who is replacing Andre Cisco on paper?
Can they go safety running back? Like, will the Jets do?
Probably not.
Not talking you out of it. Just posing a question.
I know.
I mean, hey, who's their head coach? What did the Lions do?
Yeah, but I don't think Frank Reich would do that.
Well, it's not Frank Reich's decision.
Well, that's true.
The GM is he was with the Broncos for a long time. Aaron Moogie. I mean, they take BPA. That's George Payton's thing, is taking BPA.
It's true.
And he learned under George Payton for 7-8 years, I think.
I just think that there's probably a bigger argument that they would take DT. I also think that there's a chance that they could trade one of Will McDonald or Jermaine Johnson this offseason to free up some cap space. And if they would do that, then I think that Falk here would make a lot of sense for him. Howell might make sense for him. I think Banks or Woods make sense. They could take wide receiver too. Denzel Boston would fit pretty well in that offense. They don't have anybody throwing him the ball, but if they address that in free agency, maybe, then that would be a pretty nice complement to Garrett Wilson's game.
Agreed.
It's just better. What's his face? Alan Lazard. Jets, if they don't re-sign AVT, could also use guards. So, if Pregnon hadn't gone, maybe he goes here. And that's why the Ravens decided they needed to take him at 14.
Yep.
I'm going to give him Love. I feel like he's fallen farther than I think he probably will. Again, it's tough to know because running back isn't a premium position. Generally speaking, I think that, especially with the fact that there are so many running backs in free agency this year, I think it's going to be, I don't know, but I think it's going to be pretty clear what Jeremiah Love's landing spot is going to be like 2 weeks before the draft. Because I think there's going to be a team that has like a obvious need at running back that hasn't addressed it in free agency, that it'll probably be like a fairly obvious fit. I don't know that for sure. But like, if the Jets lose Breece Hall and don't make another signing, there's an argument that they could try to trade back a couple picks at the top and take Jeremiah Love at like 5 or 6.
Sure.
If the I don't know. I don't think the Titans or Cardinals would actually take him, but the Commanders on paper right now kind of need running back. I don't know if he's the top need. Chiefs need running back. The Cowboys need running back. Like there's a handful of teams that are picking here that if they don't address it, and I think almost every team this year probably will address running back in free agency. in some capacity, because even if a Steelers re-signing Kenny Gainwell because, Aaron Rodgers is coming back, that's still technically addressing running back. It's just not a difference maker at running back long term.
Right.
But there's a lot of free agent running. I mean, Rachaad White's going to go somewhere. Is he an elite top end starter? No, but he's clearly shown he has ability. David Montgomery might be on the move. Like there's a lot of options out there.
Yeah, there is. It's a ton of free agent running backs. So I agree with that. But I like giving them love. I think that gives them. If they lose, I think they should explore giving the franchise tag to Brees. But if he's not going to be happy there, then maybe don't do that.
Right.
All right, Lions, ass kicker, kneecap biter. There's a couple of them here. I think they need help. Man, I think they need help at corner though. I was thinking about giving them Falk to go opposite of Hutchinson because their pass rush is pretty bad. I'm also thinking, hey, we have taken no defensive linemen, and they could use a defensive tackle, in my opinion, because they're losing our TJ Reader, I think, is a free agent.
Yeah,
they have Tyleik Williams, but
McNeil.
And Levi Onwuzurike. I always can't say Onwuzurike. I think that's how you say his name.
And Mekhi Wingo. Don't forget about him.
They have some good players, but if they wanted to take Peter Woods or they want to take Caleb Banks,
right.
I mean, I
Peter Woods
that.
could also play the Marcus Davenport role for them. I think, somewhat.
Kind of, yes. I don't know. Falk feels like a good pick for them, but if you look at the corners, what they drafted, they have Teron Arnold, who has underperformed quite a bit. Then Amik Robinson is their nickel, who's a free agent. DJ Reed is okay. I liked Ennis Rakestraw quite a bit coming out. I don't know that he's played that well. Their secondary was just not good last year. Mm-hmm. They gave up a lot of yards.
Which part of that also has to do with the fact that they had no pass rush, as we've talked about.
True, yes.
Cause and effect
Correct.
League, but their secondary also just wasn't good enough, point blank. You talked about kneecap. I immediately pulled up Jennings Dunker, by the way, because he was a sick left guard.
Too. I have a bad feeling that he's not bad feeling. I don't know that he's going to go this high. I don't know that he's going to be in the first round.
He shouldn't.
I
don't know that Pregnon goes at 14, but I did it,
Yeah. He's not going to go this high, but I like Keith Abney for them for a corner. Mm-hmm. I know Terrell's like the next guy, and he's good. He's a little undersized. I feel like I'm pretty sure Arnold was a little undersized. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like they.
I'm cutting you off again, but they don't.
No, you're good.
The scheme that they play, like Amik Robertson playing nickelback for them, yeah, it is a thing, right? But does he actually really play nickelback for them? No. Brian Branch is actually their nickel more often than not, or the guy who winds up playing nickel. They don't play. They almost run a 4-4, more than
sometimes, yeah.
More than
they haven't listed it 4-2.
Yeah.
Like the 4-2-4, so.
Right.
This is a tough pick. There's a few ways I like for them here. I like this tier too. Like Terrell, Cease, Abney, Colton Hood, D'Angelo Pons. There's guys. I think they could probably wait till round 2 to take one. I know they picked later in round 2, but maybe one of those guys makes it to them. Maybe they get one in free agency. Mm-hmm. I think they need pass rush, whether that's defensive tackle or edge. So I think I'm going to stick there.
Honestly, and again, I'm cutting you off again. They're losing Anzalone, Malcolm Rodriguez, Zach Cunningham, Ezekiel Turner, Grant Stewart. The only linebackers that they're retaining are Jack Campbell and Derek Barnes.
It's bad. They probably have to go through free agency, I think. But again,
what I was
second, I know you
CJ Allen. They could. There's an argument. I don't think they can take that over.
I don't think so either. I have C.J. Allen. So, spoiler alert: I've watched a little tape on linebackers now. Styles and I don't consider Reese an off-ball linebacker, so I don't count him. Sony's obviously one. I think, and this might be crazy, I think I have Allen and Galladay closer than most people from Cincy. Like, dude, he was awesome this year. I didn't realize how good he was until I actually watched him.
Mm-hmm.
I like Allen. I think I'm a little bit I don't want to say lower, but I kind of cooled off. Like, he's good, but he also had a really good defensive line he played behind, and he wasn't as impactful as you would think he would be, at least in my opinion. Like, he was solid.
Yeah, I'll also say this much too. Looking at it now,
Trotter, Lawson, Lewis is good. Rodriguez,
Lawson,
Torin York, I like. Dude, the linebacker depth in this class is insane. Linebacker, safety, wide receiver. Those are the three, and then I guess guard. Like, those are the main depth positions for me, I think.
Offensive tackle is okay, but it's mostly
tackle's okay.
That are going to wind up playing guard. So yeah,
edge is okay too, but so. In saying all of that, I'm gonna give him Caleb Banks. He feels like a kneecap biter to me.
I like that.
And I know I said pass rush. I think he's a pretty good pass rusher from the inside, but I think he just eats up blocks for the other guys to make plays, and they don't really have that. So Aiden, there's a better chance that he gets
feels like better
one-on-ones. Right. I think he's better than the PFF grades because I just looked at his grades, and I think he's better than those grades.
I do so. I do think that he's a little bit raw, but you can
have
some affordability when you're an athletic, raw defensive tackle. You know what I mean? Like,
true. And who's going to get the best out of you? Dan Campbell.
300. Yeah, exactly.
You
can't teach 6'6", 330. He's what, 22?
21 or 22?
Younger than that, I think. Actually, I don't know why I said 22. He might be 20.
I don't know. He was a redshirt senior, I think.
He's 24?
I thought he was 23, 22, 23, but yeah.
He's 24. Okay, well. You know where he was born?
No.
Detroit, Michigan.
Well, there you go. He just feels, I don't know. He just feels like he also didn't play. He played 3 games this year.
Right. I read redshirt senior, and I in my head said redshirt sophomore, and I was like, oh, he's young. No, he's not, you stupid idiot. Anyway, yeah, I like that pick a lot. For that.
Florida's also ass and did not play. They had nobody around him.
Correct.
He's a projection player for sure.
Correct.
But I don't know. He definitely is biting some of his kneecaps. I've seen him in some.
Him being next to Tyreek Williams is disgusting.
Agreed.
The Vikings have way more than 3 needs too. Like I hate PFF so much.
Yeah, I don't like the needs they have either.
They need corner. They need safety. To me, there's an argument for defensive line. Peter Woods is still here.
Yeah.
They have to go Peter Woods, right?
I don't know if they have to, but it'd be a good pick.
I think that they're contractually obligated. I don't see... Falk or
I'm biased here because I just like this player, and I think I did it last week, but McNeil Warren at safety, I just like that for them.
I get it. Trust me, I get it. But again, you were just talking about there's so much depth there.
Oh, I missed a pick that I should have made for the Lions. I'm an idiot. I hate PFF's big board. I should be using mine.
You want to talk about it?
I mean, the guy who might end up being edge 3 for me.
Is that height
or 4? No. I actually watched some Texas Tech stuff, and he kind of gets beat a little too much in the run game for me.
That's fair.
The other Miami edge, He is a kneecap biter. He's a kneecap biter. I like him a lot.
But he's shorter than I think Dan Campbell was, so that's why they're not taking him. Smile. I'm taking Peter Woods.
Yep, I like that. DPA. The Panthers. All right. Well, I would have gone Peter Woods.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't.
Which is also why I had to.
But now
you can
I can make my spicy pick, I think. Let me make sure though. Yeah, like Panthers, funny enough, division winner. When I think they're probably like projecting this year, I mean, I think there's an argument they're number 4 in the division. Bucks probably get back to normal. Saints probably take a step second year under Kellen Moore. Tyler Shuck, if he looks a little bit, keeps improving. Falcons, I think,
be the one that's
have a lot of weapons.
But they do have a lot of weapons.
Like, they have weapons. I think their defense is still pretty good.
Coach, so
I agree. Man, am I going to do that? I literally said I'm not going to take that position again. If they don't sign Cade Mays back, they need center really badly, but there's not anybody.
No.
As much as I like Connor Lew, I can't take him round 1.
No. Jake Slaughter. You'd be better off taking Jennings, Dunker, and hoping. They are
gonna need linebacker pretty bad. Really bad. Scorton at edge is like they got Princely, Scorton. Yep. I might not be able to do my spicy pick. I think there's too many players that I'll have to save it. Fortunately, Mesidor, I don't think he's too big. He's not the type of edge. You'd be able to play on the D-line for him, though, where they have Ashawn, Derek Brown. That's interesting, actually. If they still have Ejiro at defensive coordinator, right? Yep. Yeah. They're gonna go Cassius Howe. That's the type of edge that Ejiro would like a lot.
I like that.
Not spicy, but unfortunately.
Was he there with Scorton last year?
That's a good question. I don't remember if I think so. I think he played on the other side, actually.
Because they had Shamar.
I don't think he was a true. Oh, yeah, maybe.
Did he transfer in?
Maybe he did transfer in.
He was at Bowling Green.
Bowling Green, that's right.
But he was there in 24, so yeah, they would have played at least a season together.
Yeah, so there you go. Even better. Back together again.
Reunited.
Oh, brother, you're going to hate what I do for you. Well, no, you're not going to hate it, but I already know what I'm doing.
Well, on that note, just remember I control the Broncos.
I don't think you're going to hate it. You like the player. It's just you're going to be like, well, I don't know. You actually probably won't hate it at all. It's just, go ahead. Give the Cowboys their second player this draft.
They got David Bailey already, and I think there's still an argument for them taking Keldrick Falk. Who do they have on the other edge?
Well, yeah, they just drafted dude from Boston College, the edge. That I like a lot.
Donovan Ezeraku.
Donovan, yeah.
But like Osa Odigizua, I'm saying, and Solomon Thomas, they have. I guess what I'm trying to get at, I feel like Keldrick Falk feels like a DeMarcus Lawrence type replacement, whereas David Bailey feels like a Micah replacement, and I think that Ezeraku, David Bailey, and what's his face that I just said, Keldrick, could all coexist in the same defense.
Right.
Christian Parker.
I would be considering Thieneman or McNeil Warren as well.
Yeah.
I know I'm higher on the safeties, but I
No,
like this
I
guys a
am
lot.
too. I think it's a tough one.
Mesidor, who I would probably take if I was taking edge, though.
That's
Personally,
fair.
talk about DeMarcus Lawrence replacement.
That's fair.
I'm also higher on him than Falk, I think, and I like both of them, but I'm higher on Mesidor than most people.
No, that's a good
He's
point.
dude. He's I don't know the way he plays. I'm surprised Miami didn't win the national championship with the edges, both edges that they had. Like I don't know how anybody blocked that. Truly,
They could take a linebacker too. It's tough because the positions that I feel like the Cowboys would want here are the positions that actually have some level of depth that don't
could they take a
necessarily have.
corner? Thinking now that Diggs is gone.
Well, that's what I was looking at, but like they have Ravel, they have Deron Bland, who I don't think
Yeah,
is like earth shattering, but I don't think there's really an
no.
out there. I guess they could use a nickelback. Like if I gave him Terrell, that might make sense. They
Yeah,
also do love the younger players of NFL stars who wind up not being very good, so that would probably make sense for them.
he played 110 slot snaps this past year.
Yeah. He is my best nickelback in the class, I think. True, okay, corner nickelback,
Or
because I think McNeil Warren is actually probably above him. But
I'd have to think.
well, and not counting Caleb Downs, because Caleb Downs is probably my best true safety, my best true box safety, my best true nickelback. But
Maybe Pons if he goes to move to the slot.
could
But
be
he also played on the outside too. But
right
yeah, I don't know.
because also Christian Parker has his basis in defensive backs, which is why I'm leaning that direction, and I think that's what I'm going to do.
Yep, the legend Christian Parker. Broncos legend.
Yeah, he's a little undersized, but I think that he will be fine. They have size in Ravel. Deron Bland is
He's not small.
decently tall.
I don't think he's small.
6 foot.
I think he has decent long arms, if I remember, or at least not like short.
Correct.
That's how he gets all those picks.
Yep.
Oh, you already made the pick. Sorry.
You're good.
All right, cool. Terrell. All right. Steelers. Hypothetically, let's say, and this is not what I'm going to do. I'm just curious what you think on this. Actually, I think I already know what you think. Let's say, like, you guys just bring back Rodgers, right? Would you be mad if they took Ty Simpson at 21?
Yes.
Would it feel Kenny Pickish-y?
It would feel worse than that, I would argue.
Oof. I think Simpson's better than Pickett. I know there's hindsight, but even
let me rephrase what I'm trying to say. I like Ty Simpson as a prospect better than Kenny Pickett, and I was really high on Kenny Pickett, but I think that I have to have some level of hindsight being 2020.
Yeah.
There's a joke in there.
It's also a lot of
2020 draft, but or 2021.
There was some hopium too for Pickett,
Yeah, and it was a good story. This, that, the third, whatever.
Sure.
If the Steelers, number one, I hate it for 18 different reasons. The Steelers already have Will Howard, which no, I don't think he's necessarily guaranteed to be the long-term answer. I'm not saying that. If you bring back Rodgers and he decides not to retire, then in my opinion, you're trying to win this year, and you have to address a position that you actually need this year. The quarterback class is so much better next year. I'm not looking at a chart right now, but there's probably going to be 5 or 6 quarterbacks that I'd rather have next year than Ty Simpson.
Probably. There's at least 4. Yeah.
There's at least 4.
At least. Probably more.
Correct. And again, that's just off the dome. I'm not looking at it. So, if you have success with Rodgers, there's probably going to be the opportunity to trade up next year regardless. If you don't have success with Rodgers, he's getting a year older, he gets hurt, whatever, you go to whatever the scenario is. There's no scenario in my mind that taking Ty Simpson at 21 feels any sort of good. Every time I see it in a pundit mock draft, it makes me actually mad, like angry.
No, I get it. I wouldn't do it like at all. Like if I was the Steelers, I definitely wouldn't do it. I'm not
Who
mocking
was
it
the
to you.
player that we kept getting mocked last year?
I mean, it was Derek Harmon for a little while there.
Well, no, that was my pick. But there was Shador. That's who it was. It was Shador over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I kept saying it's going to be Derek Harmon, and I kept seeing more and more Shador. And I was like, if we take Shador at 20, I will be pissed. And we took Harmon, and I was happy.
There was that stage where it was Shador lot because that one interaction with Mike Tomlin, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's going to be a Steeler." You know what I mean?
Right, and we had a need at quarterback. And
well, yeah,
at that
obviously
point, Rodgers
that
wasn't signed. Like there was a. I get why it happened, but it feels like we're running back the same scenario again, and I'm gonna sit here and have to keep seeing Ty Simpson on freaking mock drafts from people that I have at least a little bit of respect for, and just hoping and praying that they're wrong again. Like it.
Right. Well, in saying all of that, I'm giving you one of my favorite players and my for sure wide receiver, at least for this year, Omar Cooper.
I don't hate that actually.
Dude.
It does feel early to me, and I would be
okay
round. But
I know. I'm just doing this to make my stamp here that I've watched every game of his the last 2 years now because I liked so much. Even last year when he didn't do as much, like just there's not anything this guy can't do. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I feel like there's a floor there of like, and this sounds gross, but a floor there of like a Christian Kirk. Who has had success.
He's got a floor.
That's a floor.
Like a Jeff Janis, you know?
Okay, well, whatever. He can get open in the slot, the Z, the X, his separation skills. Like I just said, it's his footwork. I don't know. I don't know what his drop rate was. Let me look. I didn't see 4.2%. I didn't see him ever double catch a ball. Mm-hmm. He had 3 drops last year. And I don't know the stats on this either, but like after the ball is in his hands, he's a running back. He reminds me of like how AJ Brown was when he was coming in. Like he gets the ball in his hands and he's gonna make guys miss. He has a big frame like a running back. Like he's not super tall, but he's like 6 foot. I think he was like 6 foot 200. Like he could put a little weight on too. Yeah, like he Debo-ish. Yeah, sure, but like I even think coming out, he's a better route runner than Debo was coming out.
Debo's 6'15",
that's what I'm saying. Really like Omar Cooper. He is for sure my top 4 wide receivers. I like Denzel Boston, but he's over Boston for me now. And I'm not gonna lie, like, and this is probably crazy because at the end of the day, he might probably going to be ending up being a 2nd round pick. But man, like, I just think that, again, the floor's there. I think the ceiling's there for him to be like, I legitimately think he could be like a Garrett Wilson type of wide receiver with a little bit more. He has a bigger frame, but he's obviously not the route runner Garrett Wilson is. Like, Garrett Wilson is like a top 5 route runner in the league. Cooper isn't there, but like, I don't know, man. Like, and this might just be recency bias and me just watching his stuff, but I would take him over any of the receivers left. You guys need a wide receiver badly, and I know it's probably way too early, but I mean, if we have Pregnon going at 14, I think Cooper can go 21 in this 100%. Class. So,
100%.
Yeah,
I don't hate that at all.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, frankly, I don't hate the idea of the Steelers doubling down at wide receiver and taking 1 in the 1st and 1 in the 2nd. Like, that's what we need, low-key. Like,
most people aren't going to have him as their 4th wide receiver. I'm doing it because, to me, right this second, on today's, like, right now, I think that's how I feel, is he's the next wide receiver, so that's why I'm taking him over Boston and Concepcion.
Yeah. He also feels like a Steelers kind of wide receiver, like you were talking about, like, we had Antonio Brown, who was a good route runner. We had Emmanuel Sanders, who was a good route runner. We had, after Antonio Brown, we had Deontay Johnson, who, go back and watch his college tape at Toledo. He is a disgusting route runner. Like, when we drafted Deontay Johnson, I was like, oh, it's Antonio Brown 2.0. And boy, did I not prepare myself for that one. But, like, you know, the Steelers love those just route running, like tech kind of guys who have a crazy catch radius, who aren't necessarily the biggest guys in the world. Antonio Brown's like 5'11", 5'10", something like that. He's not big.
Right.
Deontay Johnson wasn't big, but they had a bigger catch radius or drop radius. It was Deontay Johnson. Then, like, you know, they probably should for their height. They were good route runners who don't necessarily need to have the top end speed, which I don't think Cooper does. But that's okay.
He's not going to run a 4.2.
Right, but DK Metcalf is a burner. Like, if you need a deep threat, you have that. You have a tall, deep threat
I bet you Cooper runs a 4.4 something, though.
Which is perfectly fine. I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not saying he's going to run 4.6.
Right. Well,
no, I don't think he's little Jordan Humphrey. But, like...
Well, he's lucky to run a 4.6.
What did he run?
I don't know. His 3-cone had to be good because he's quick side to side. Like, I'll give him that. But his speed is... I mean, he's like 6'5", so, like...
It was bad. I remember it being, like, bad.
I think it was a 4.7 if I had to guess. Like, it was a 4.6, 4.7, yeah.
4.75.
Yeah.
Allegedly, he ran a 4.55 at his pro day, but, you know, Texas pro days. Yeah, no, I don't hate that. I do think that there's a chance that there's a shot that the Steelers get him in the second, which is the only reason why I would be iffy on it.
I get it. But
again,
I could be wrong.
I don't disagree with you at all. You know,
I could see a month before the season, 2 or 3 weeks before the season, everybody's talking about how Cooper's going to go higher than people thought.
Yeah.
I am foreseeing this to happen.
I don't hate it. It's also crazy to think about the fact that the undefeated Indiana season was a fraction of an inch away from not being a perfect season because Cooper had that catch in the back of the end zone against Penn State, where if he was literally like an eighth of an inch further, he was out of bounds. And Penn State wins that game.
True.
And maybe James Franklin doesn't get fired. You know?
Well, you should be happy he made that catch.
It's a game of inches. All right, Chargers. King Allen's a free agent. Zion Johnson's a free agent. They could trade Quentin Johnston, in my opinion, which if they do that, then I think wide receiver does become a need. They're losing Deshaun Hand. Khalil Mack.
They're just going to sign Tyreek Hill to pair back with Mike McDaniel.
That'd be funny. Dude, that offensive staff is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Harbaugh, McDaniel, and Adam Gase. Like, I need the Chargers to be on Hard Knocks this year.
Yeah, that'd be funny. It would be funny.
Am I crazy for thinking that taking Keldrick Falk makes a lot of sense?
No.
They have two.
He played like
they're losing Odafe Oweh. They're losing Khalil Mack to free agency. They lost Joey Bosa, obviously. Like,
yeah.
I mean, realistically, they need offensive line, but I don't. I could give him Proctor. I could give him Lomu. I could give him Freeling. I could give him.
I know who I would give him. I think. Wait, no, because he's not. Yeah, they need interior. Their tackles are good.
Oh shit! I forgot about Keontae Scott for slot cornerback too. He was disgusting. He's probably actually my slot one. I probably
he was good.
There's an argument that the whatever, doesn't matter.
Nah, I think Terrell's just better. Like,
Terrell's a more Jerry Jones kind of player. Like, I wasn't joking when I was talking about him. He likes the pipelines. He likes whatever.
Yeah.
The fact that AJ Terrell exists, the fact that Stephon Diggs existed and he took Trayvon Diggs, like, it's a thing. Clemson is one more of a, I would say, Jerry Jones blue blood kind of program that he tends to draft from. Miami was obviously in the championship, and maybe Michael Irvin gets in his ear. I don't know, but like. I'm giving him Falk. I know that there's an argument that Falk isn't the best edge available right now, and that there's other guys here that we like more. Messidor would be sick, honestly, for them.
Speaking of Messidor, the Eagles draft Messidor. All right, sorry, continue. And then you can go ahead and talk about the Browns because that's my pick.
But Falk has more height, and to me, I just feel like the Chargers have liked having more height. Messidor's on paper.
Well, you could have given Romello.
Well, God damn it, you're a dickhead. That's funny though. I already gave the Browns Vega. I have to go offensive line here. I mean, I know that I was saying that they were losing their entire offensive line.
I would 1,000%. I would, and again, do what you're gonna do. For me, like it's one of. He's so low on this board. I like Blake Miller so much. I think he's my next tackle. If you're gonna get a right tackle,
and I'm just like. I think okay.
Nacho
I'm just going to talk out what I'm saying, right? What I'm thinking right now. Lomu, I think grades out better as a guard than a tackle. Proctor, I think grades out better as a guard than a tackle. He played pretty well at left tackle this year, but I think he grades.
Freeling, I think, is going to play. Freeling is going to play tackle, in my opinion. Freeling will.
Freeling probably plays tackle. Which one? I don't know. Blake Miller, I agree with you. I like Jennings Dunker. Honestly, oh my god, I might take Jennings. I'm also way higher on Iheanacho than most.
They also have pick 39. They could double up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll triple up because I already gave him Vega. But like,
oh yeah, forgot.
Vega is a true guard, and I guess what I'm trying to say is they are losing their entire offensive line. Like,
yep, as of right now,
I think that there is a level to which having flexibility and versatility matters. They obviously signed Tevin Jenkins already. Dawan Jones could play tackle, could play guard. Whippler can play basically anywhere on the offensive line for them.
Yeah.
So, like, having a guy who is a tweener is normally not a good thing because he doesn't necessarily have one position over the other. But, like, the Browns getting Proctor, I think, would be really good for their scheme. He could play right tackle.
Yeah.
Lomu could play right tackle. Freeling could play tackle. Dunker could play right tackle. Like, Miller could obviously play tackle. Iheanacho, I think, plays a great tackle. I didn't talk about Caleb Tiernan, but he, I think, is going to be okay, too. But, like, having the flexibility and not necessarily looking at it saying, we need a true tackle. And again, this is all going to change. I get that. This is going to depend on who they bring back and who they don't. But for right now, with where we stand today, I think I'm going to give him Proctor. I think
he's going to the first round. I think just based upon his potential. He's very raw.
He's very raw, but he's
risky.
Super athletic, like hyper athletic. For the fact that he's 6'7", 366, and he moves. And I just feel like that is something, outside pitches and the ability to have a guard who does that, or even a tackle, like a pulling tackle, whatever you're looking for.
Right.
That feels like a Todd Monken kind of thing. Like it maybe I'm wrong, but
no,
I think that versatility.
I actually like that a lot.
Sense there.
Proctor's probably more correct than Blake Miller. Yeah, I like that. So the Bears, I consider going Cade McDonald, who I think is the best run defensive lineman in the class. In my opinion, dude's just insane defending the run. And who you have pulled up is who I've already selected, correct? Yes, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. They are losing Jaquan Brisker, I believe. He's in free agency at least. Jonathan Owens, who's the backup. Yeah. Kevin Byers, old. He's still good. He's old. Like, they need help at safety bad. They need players who can play day one. I think day one he's a starter for them. Mm-hmm. And he was, I know he played at Toledo, but like I watched 2 games from him. I'm trying to remember which ones. I watched Kentucky for sure, and I don't remember the other one. But I watched 2 games from him. It might have been Akron if they played Akron. I don't remember if they played Akron. Okay, then I think it was Akron. But like the one against Kentucky, I remember watching that game live first, and that's why I rewatched it. And yeah, PFF. Yeah, he had a 93.9 grade there. Like he was just all over the field. So I think that's a slam dunk pick for him.
It's also hard
Or
to
slam dunk pick for
discount
them.
Toledo DBs because Quinyon Mitchell went there and he is now one of the best cornerbacks in the league. So, it's hard to. I get that it's a smaller school, but it's hard to just completely dismiss it when that is a reality. The Bills. What do the Bills need to quit their bitching? They're losing everything to free agency at this point. Other than defensive line, basically, which is a position that I was thinking about giving them, but now I'm questioning that. I mean, their wide receivers are so bad, dude. Coleman's been bad. Josh Palmer has not been worth his contract. Brandon Cooks was their best asset this year, other than Khalil Shakir, who had a down year. Gabe Davis is not good enough. Tyrell Shavers was okay for like 2 games.
Omar Cooper, oh wait.
I would go Boston for them if I was picking a wide receiver, I think. Concepcion feels too Shakir-ish to me. Boston at least feels like what they were hoping to get out of Keon Coleman in terms of height. And contested catches and that kind of stuff. I just think he separates better than Keon Coleman, which is kind of a big deal.
For sure, he does.
But, sure I mean...
Yeah, he's better than Keon.
But everything defensively, like... There's an argument to be made that says the Bills had success this year with Josh Allen throwing the ball to these scrubs and running the ball to James Cook. Like, do we need to take offense with our first pick, whatever? Like,
no, because they could always get like an Alec Pierce too, and like there's other avenues.
Correct. There's 65 wide receivers that they could take this year that would be a starter on their team. Bro. Caden McDonald, I think, would be a solid pick here. Christian Miller, I don't hate. They could use a run stuffing DT. I think Deion Walker played pretty well against the pass this year, and I think he was okay against the run, but I feel like they could use an upgrade there. I feel like their ends are just... Epinesa, Bosa are both free agents. Landon Jackson, your boy, I think sucks.
My boy.
I hate Landon Jackson so much. You love him.
You just don't like how he looks.
Well, yeah, because he looks like a freak.
I did like him.
Would I be stupid for taking Zion Young here?
A little early for me, but do I think it's stupid? No. If I was going to take an edge for them...
Maybe I take height.
I mean...
I might take
I don't think Zion's bad. Height, Zion... I don't hate Zion, actually. Or Mason, CJ Parker.
But, like, when I'm thinking about it, actually, who... Like, Achane, but within their division, am I worried about the run or am I worried about the pass? The Patriots, I'm probably more worried about the pass than the run. They don't use Trayvon Henderson, so it doesn't matter. The Dolphins, on paper right now, I'm more worried about the run with Achane, but, like...
Well, the Jets now have, in this scenario, they have Jamar Love, Henderson.
Damn it. I was going to make a joke. Why'd you have to ruin that for me? I was going to make a joke about how the Jets don't have a running game or a passing game, so it doesn't matter. No, I can't do that.
I mean, they still might not. They're still the Jets, you know. They could ruin Jamar Love.
But their offensive line is too good, I think. I don't want to take McDonald. I don't care. I'm planting my flag. I know that he gets beat in the run too much. I get that, but Romello Height is my guy that I think is going to be rising. I'm planting my flag here. We're doing a mock draft 2 days before Valentine's Day. We can love who we love, you know?
There you go. I like that. I like that a lot. The 49ers are taking Denzel Boston because they might lose every wide receiver except for Ricky Pearsall on their roster. So, yeah, they're going to take Denzel Boston because they just need bodies. And I think he could do a lot of the things that Juwan Jennings did. He might even be better. His potential should be better. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm not going to think about that too much. Well, whatever. Yeah, but I'm going to give him Boston. I think they just have to have to address that some way.
I like that a lot. I'm giving him Caleb Lomu. I don't care. There's an argument to be made for like 6 guys here. I just don't care. They need offensive line. Lomu, I think, plays fine at guard. I don't know what's going to happen, but this is where Pregnon probably should actually go. But I'm giving them Lomu. If they don't take offensive line, I think that they're stupid. Maybe they rebuild their offensive line by signing the entire Browns offensive line, in which case maybe they don't need to do that here. But until that actually happens, I'm never not going to give them offensive line.
Well, speaking of offensive line, they just lost Rob Havenstein. I'm going to give them the best possible fit they could get in this entire draft to play tackle. Blake Miller, correct. You already knew. That's just the Rams pick. Like that's going to happen. It's just going to happen.
By the way, am I like stupid or something, or am I not understanding this whole little grade screen? Because blue dot as far to the right as it can possibly go and all of these things, and he's grading in like the 70s. Am I dumb, or is this just stupid? I understand this is all a percentile thing, and it's saying basically that he's one of the top tackles by percentiles, but they're just saying, no, he's not that good. Like, what are we doing here?
That's a good question, and I don't have the answer for you. I'll be honest. I don't know.
I hate PFF so much, in case you haven't noticed.
Well, got to.
All right, let's look at the Broncos roster real quick and see what you're losing in free agency and what you're going to have, because off the top of my head, I'm kind of forgetting. John Franklin.
Well, free agents, there's like nothing except for John Franklin. That's the biggest one, and I'm
Dobbins is kind of big, but I think he comes back.
Yeah. Well, he wants to retire here, so I think he'll take a discount.
Right.
This is where he wants to.
I also think that you could wind up with Dobbins and a like.
I think we could draft another guy, later though.
Why can't I think of his freaking name? Who's the running back for the Falcons?
Oh, Tyler Rozier.
Thank you. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I can see that too for sure. Definitely can see that. I can see Demont coming as well.
Oh, Dave Montgomery. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said Demont in my head. I heard Draymond.
You were thinking Javonte?
I heard Draymond.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
PJ Locke, losing him would be a problem, kind of, for your defense, just because I feel like your safeties are always hurt.
We use 3.
But
I would foresee him.
And I think he comes back.
Skinner and Key they were both like 2 top special teams guys, and I think Key also played a little bit. Like, I think when PJ Locke had to start a game, he got hurt a little bit, and he played and he was fine.
Yeah.
But if we don't get Locke back and he wants to go start somewhere, yeah, for sure, I could see us taking the safety for sure, because Hufanga's had injury stuff. Brandon Jones has had injury stuff before, so we like to run 3 safeties. That's definitely something that we might do.
Right. With that being said, I don't think I'm taking that here. That would be something that I'm taking down the line.
And there's so many
that I like here, but there isn't one that I like enough. There's an obvious pick here, based off of what are currently positions of weakness.
Yeah.
I think that you probably bring back one of, maybe both of Adkins and Kroll. They're restricted free agents. Troutman, I think you probably let go.
Kroll, cut. I think Troutman will sign back for cheap because he's going to stay with Sean Payton, and he has that role, the Sean Payton role. Sean Payton loves Nate Adkins as a blocker. Dude's like insane. So like those 2 guys I think are coming back, but we don't have a pass catcher. I think those 2 guys are like our move tight ends that we're going to use as like a fullback / tight end, But yeah, we need 1 or 2 pass catching tight ends, especially if we don't keep Ingram.
Right. So
yeah,
I'm taking Concepcion, obviously. No, Kenny Sadiq, I think, is here. I think it's too late for him to be here. I understand that PFF is telling me he had a down year. PFF can suck my ass. I think Sadiq is disgusting. I think that there's a world that the Broncos could wind up getting Kyle Pitts this year.
Sure.
Or
Pitts,
something.
Even like Isaiah Likely, which I know you're not a huge fan of, but like him or Njoku, you're also not a fan of.
Njoku, I think would be cool, but if you get Njoku, it doesn't stop you from getting Sadiq. I think if you get Pitts, it stops you from getting Sadiq, frankly.
Correct. Yeah, I agree with that.
But with Sadiq still here, and I think that's realistic at this point. I mean, there was a point in time where I had Sadiq going top 12, I think, when the Chiefs were picking at 12. And I still think that it's possible that he goes earlier. I just feel like he's slipping, and I don't necessarily know why. Because to me, he feels very good. I get that he has a smaller frame for a tight end. You don't want a 6'3", 245 tight end more often than not. But for a team like the Broncos, who have Nate Adkins, who's like, what, 6'4", 280, Like...
Yeah. I mean, he's a...
6'3", 252. Okay, so maybe not 280, but you know what I mean.
He's built like a fullback. Like, he really is. He's more of a fullback than a tight end.
6'5", 250. Like, both of those guys are big enough. So if we're saying that they're retaining those two and losing the rest, you have the ability to take a move tight end that you can utilize as a joker, that you can move around the field, that, by the way, if you really needed to, you could play him at wide receiver. Like, that is Sean Payton's calling card. And it's, for the sake of the rest of the league, they should probably hope that this doesn't happen, but it's happened in almost every mock draft I see, and every mock draft says the league shouldn't let this happen, but nobody ever does anything about it. So they're getting Kenny Sadiq.
I hope so. There's like 5 guys that I really want, and he's definitely one of them. I want to give the Patriots offensive line. I'm struggling to... I don't have to, though.
But you could.
I'm looking up there just to remind myself the depth chart of who they're losing. Will Campbell, I still think he'll get the benefit of the doubt and play left tackle, even though I still think he's a better guard, and I'll stand by that forever. Morgan Moses was just okay, but he was when you Jared Wilson.
I know what I would do here, and I know what I'm going to talk about, but I don't know if you're going to agree with me, and that's okay.
Ooh, okay. I know what I'm doing, I think. I don't love how the board fell for that position, though. I thought about just giving them Jennings Dunker. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't think he's going in the first round.
That's what I was gonna say, man. Tell me that's not a Mike Vrabel player, dude.
It is. It is a Mike Vrabel player. Yeah, I mean that was my first thought that I had. First thought was that, and then the more I think about it, the more I just don't know. Like, I think he should go that early, but at the same time, like,
maybe they take Freeling and he can play with Jared Wilson again.
You know what? I don't care. Jennings Dunker.
Yes.
Throw him in there. That was my first thought. I'm just going to stick with it.
Get dunked on.
Stick him in there.
Jennings Dunker Donuts back in Boston. You'll love that.
Dunker Donuts. Nice.
All right. Patriots took Dunker, so I don't know why I said that. The Seahawks.
Don't.
The Seahawks could use a quarterback. I don't hate that.
Yeah, they might lose Witherspoon. Or they could lose a lot of not Witherspoon. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, he's a 5th-year option guy next year. So yeah, he's still back. That's what I meant was one.
Job and Bryant are also free agents.
Keith Abney would be fun for them, and also
I'm just going to throw this out there too. Rashid Shaheed, if he doesn't come back, I know they have Torrey Horton, who they feel decent about. I could see them, if Concepcion is here, throwing a dart at that, or a different wide receiver. Chris Bell, by the way, would be kind of gross there, because you have the versatility that you don't need to rush him back from his injury, but like, there's an argument that when healthy, Chris Bell is wide receiver 3 or 4 in this class.
Yeah.
You just have obvious injury concerns there. But I think I'm going to wind up looking at cornerback. I agree with you. Abney is really nice here. They don't need a slot cornerback because Witherspoon and E-Man both can do that effectively. So I'm looking for somebody who's going to play on the outside. Colton Hood, I think, could be really good in that scheme. I think Abney might be what I lean towards. I'm also higher than I think most people on Chris Johnson. But I could go either way on a bunch of these guys.
Yeah, I mean,
I think I'm going to wind up going Abney.
They could still use help on interior. I don't know if you just said that or not. I was halfway listening.
It's okay.
And
yeah,
line.
They could.
But
the problem is, again, with Dunker
I like
going
the
there,
corner board.
Right.
Yeah, I like the corner board better. But you probably just also said that.
I didn't fully, but that's was going to be something that I used to justify my pick of a cornerback. Yeah,
Brandon Cease, I mean,
it's just funny to me. Like, on paper, 6 foot 195. On paper, 6 foot 190. On paper, 6 foot 190. On paper, 6 foot 195. Like, these are all 4 guys of same size basically, and all 4 of those guys I think are smaller than what they've typically looked for at cornerback, if I remember correctly.
I mean,
I feel like
kind of. Witherspoon, I think, was a little. I don't think he was super big.
I guess he's 5'11". I felt like he was like 6'1", 6'2".
No, I mean that's why they haven't played slot, I guess. Though, well, yeah, he was.
And Joe's 5'11", so I guess I'll just shut the fuck up. Okay.
For me, it's Abney or Hood.
Yeah, I like Cease and Johnson a good amount too, but I think I'm going to be an Abney for them.
Yeah, like that.
All right, it's later than I thought it was going to be, so we'll wrap that up. We'll do a 2-round mock next week. Try to speed through the first round a little bit better.
We had to make up time because we didn't do it last week, you know? I had to talk a little more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, I had to justify taking Pregnon at 14, so.
Well, I mean, I took Omar Cooper first round, so.
I think that's less of a stretch. I think that is less of a stretch than.
Maybe.
So. Yeah, what I will say about this mock draft, I don't think I've seen a good chunk of these guys go in the first round in most people's mocks. So I like the fact that we're at least talking about different guys and throwing different names out there. Only one quarterback in the first round is interesting. Very much a real scenario. I do think, again, once we start doing trades, I think that there's a real chance that a team's going to wind up trading into the first round in this general vicinity if they want to take a shot at Ty Simpson.
Probably.
Jets could do it. They've already addressed running back and safety, so maybe they don't have the luxury to in this particular instance. Cardinals could, unless they take them
Cardinals,
free.
Browns. Just Cardinals, Browns, Dolphins. Yeah, there's all kind of feel.
There's a whole bunch of teams that could. Jets have 2 seconds right away too, so Colts,
2 seconds. They have extra draft capital next year.
Colts may want to move up from their first and take one if they don't bring back Daniel Jones, because on paper they have a team that needs to compete, and if they don't have Daniel Jones back, like
even if they do bring him back, and they do it like on a 2-year deal, kind of like, hey, can you still stay healthy? Like, why not? Right. Otherwise, they're gonna have to. I mean, honestly, maybe they go for Malik Willis because they tried with Anthony Richardson with the athletic hype, and maybe
I was gonna say a team that I feel like could get the most out of a quarterback like that with like a Steichen style offense, they could get Justin Fields and I think actually make something out of him.
Yeah, I would like them getting hit. Like maybe if they got rid of Richardson too and took Fields to be like the backup, like just in case.
Fields or Richardson has to be a free agent soon, right? Am I making that up? Is it next year?
He's the same year as Witherspoon, I think. So they could pick up the 5th-year option this year, I think.
Okay.
if they wanted to. So
yeah. He'll be a free
this is
agent
year
after next year.
3, year 4 next year. Yeah. So I think they might. I mean, they'll probably just keep him just to see, just in case.
Right. Or
You never
get an offer
know.
from a team that.
Right? Like, here's a 6th-round pick. Just give him to us.
Right.
Like, we'll
The
take him
Eagles.
as a right. Just we'll throw him on the back of the roster and see if we can develop him.
Yeah, the Eagles have done that. It feels like every year for the last 4 or 5 years.
Right.
They want to
See
trade
that for
a
sure.
late pick for a guy like that.
Yeah, you see that. The the Ravens do it just because just in case Lamar dies again. Another
The Browns
athletic
do
guy.
it to replace Tyler Huntley.
Maybe they'll have another Pro Bowl quarterback in Anthony Richardson. Fits the brand.
But all right. Anyway, we'll wrap it up there. Quick recap. I'll scroll through slowly so you can see what's going on.
Very nice, very nice.
Should be back next week. I don't think I have anything going on, so as long as you are.
Yep, I'll be here.
Good to go. Perfect. So, like I said, next week we'll do our first 2-round mock. We'll probably have a couple more things start to shake out, maybe. Rumors and things like that as we get to next year. More cryptic posts by Cortland Sutton that make it sound like he's leaving.
He already clarified. He was like right after, because people were freaking out again. He's like, I meant the end of the 8th chapter, like 8th season, because everybody's freaking out. Yeah, it was funny.
It's funny. But yeah, we will run it back next week. Thank you all for hanging out. Appreciate you. Love